What does the Auditing Professions Act talk about in terms of the definition of the audit, and why is it important? When we talk about auditing, we've got to be very clear about the context that we use that phrase in, the context that we use the understanding in. So when we're dealing with anything that may fall within the APA, we've got to be very careful that we make sure we understand what the Auditing Profession Act means by an audit. So if we take a look at the definition of an audit as far as the Auditing Professions Act is concerned, it talks about an examination of the financial statements or financial information. So this is a clear indication that when we're talking about auditing, we are talking about financial statements with the objective of expressing an opinion. So this is what we all know already. As auditors, we are expressing an opinion. We are giving reasonable assurance about the fair presentation of the financial statements. On the fairness or compliance with a financial reporting framework. In our case, we deal mainly with IFRS. So when we talk about financial reporting framework, we deal with the International Financial Reporting Standards, your accounting standards. So we know that when we talk about the financial statements, when we audit the financial statements, we are auditing financial statements that were drawn up in accordance with IFRS, in accordance with applicable auditing standards. In South Africa, we use your international standards on auditing, your ISAs. So when we talk about auditing here, we are expressing an opinion on the fair presentation of financial statements that have been drawn up in terms of IFRS, and we will do that by applying the international standards on auditing, and that is the understanding of the definition of the audit as far as the APA is concerned. So as long as you're dealing with an audit in terms of this, that meets this criteria, then the Auditing Profession Act will govern the profession that deals with your audit. Let's take a look at the objectives of the Auditing Profession Act as well. The objectives is to protect the public by regulating audit. So as the definition has discussed, the audit itself, we need to protect the public, people who would be using the financial statements to create or to make a decision. We need to make sure we protect them by enhancing the reliability, the credibility of the financial information. Establish an independent regulatory board for auditors. So IRBA is the profession itself, is the professional body, and you'll notice the first word there is independent, to make sure that they are independent. Provide for accreditation of professional bodies, provide for registration of auditors. So this allows people to practice as auditors, allow for you to be accredited. Regulate the conduct of registered auditors. As a profession always governs the behavior and governs what their members are and are not allowed to do. To improve the development and maintenance of comparable ethical and auditing standards for auditors. So continually improving the profession and making sure that both ethics as well as technical standards are held high. Set measures to advance the implementation of standards of competence and good ethics in the profession. So we improve the development as well as set measures to make sure that everybody lives up to certain standards, and provide for disciplinary action. Obviously, if they are profession, if they are governing bodies, they have the ability to create disciplinary if any of the members that are registered, if any accredited bodies or any accredited auditors fall out of line, then obviously the profession itself, since it is law, has the ability to apply disciplinary action. So for us as auditors, we've got to be very careful that we understand what the law around us as auditors will allow and will not allow us to do, and make sure that we never fall outside those boundaries.